Let me ask you something. What if the glass of water sitting next to you right now, that plain, innocent looking glass of water, was actually missing something? Not in a scary way, more like you've been driving a really good car and nobody told you there was a turbo button. Today, I'm going to walk you through 7 simple, affordable things you can add to your daily water that can genuinely shift your energy, your blood flow, and your overall vitality. And we're going to keep it practical. We're going to keep it real. And I promise, no jargon, no fear, no 47-step morning routine. If you're over 60 and want to feel more like yourself again, stick around. I wish someone had told me about this years ago. Number 1, magnesium, the mineral your body is almost certainly begging for. Here's a stat that genuinely surprised me when I first came across it. Over 75% of adults are deficient in magnesium. Not borderline, actually deficient. A big reason is that modern farming has stripped magnesium from the soil, which means it has been quietly disappearing from our food for decades. So, what does magnesium actually do? Think of it as your body's natural chill out switch. It is involved in over 300 different processes, but for people over 60, the most important one is this: it relaxes smooth muscle tissue. Smooth muscle lines your arteries. When your arteries can relax and open up properly, which is called vasodilation, blood flows freely. When they're tight and constricted because magnesium is low, everything downstream suffers. Your energy, your circulation, your performance, all of it. The practical fix is simple. Add half a teaspoon of magnesium citrate or glycinate powder to your morning water. These are the highly absorbable forms. Tablets often pass right through you. The powder actually gets to work. Now, magnesium is doing a brilliant job relaxing your system. But there is a mineral that has been unfairly demonized for decades, and the right version of it might be exactly what your cells have been missing. Let's address the elephant in the room, or I suppose the salt shaker, on the table. For years, we've been told sodium is bad, and if we're talking about the bleached, ultra-processed table salt crammed into packaged food, that concern is fair. But a tiny pinch of unrefined sea salt or pink Himalayan salt, completely different story. Unrefined salt contains up to 84 trace minerals. It is not just sodium chloride, it is a whole mineral spectrum. And sodium itself plays a critical role in hydration that most people don't realize. Without adequate sodium, your body actually struggles to hold on to the water you drink. You can drink glass after glass and still feel dehydrated because the water isn't getting pulled into your cells where it belongs. Here's the fix. Take a pinch, and I mean a genuinely small pinch, barely covering the tip of your pinky, and add it to a large glass of water first thing in the morning. That's it. It's the cheapest upgrade on this entire list. So we've relaxed the blood vessels with magnesium, and we've improved how water actually enters your cells with quality salt. But there's a third piece of this puzzle, and without it, the whole system is a bit like a three-legged stool with one leg missing. Number 3, potassium, the unsung hero of healthy blood pressure. If magnesium is the chill-out mineral and sodium is the gatekeeper, potassium is the one quietly making sure everything stays in balance. Potassium works in direct partnership with sodium. Together, they run what is called the sodium-potassium pump, essentially the electrical engine that powers your nerve signals and your muscle contractions. Potassium's other big job is keeping your arterial walls flexible and responsive, and it plays a well-documented role in supporting healthy blood pressure. Here's the problem. The modern diet is massively skewed with far too much processed sodium and nowhere near enough potassium. Most people are not getting close to what they need. Getting more from food is always the first step. Bananas, avocado, sweet potato, leafy greens. But if you are active and sweating regularly, a low sugar electrolyte powder with solid potassium content added to your post workout water is a genuinely smart habit. Now we've covered 3 minerals, but here's where things get a little more personal because number 4 has a very specific role in male health that does not get talked about nearly enough. Number 4, zinc, the quiet guardian of your testosterone. This is the one I mentioned at the top. The reason it matters so much for people over 60 is simple. Even a marginal zinc deficiency can drag down testosterone production, not crash it dramatically. It will just quietly, gradually pull it lower over time. Testosterone is not just important for men, it is equally important for healthy, functioning women. Their healthy levels are lower than in men. We are talking about the hormone that influences your energy, your muscle mass, your mood, and your drive. Zinc is one of its key building blocks. When it is low, you might not point to zinc as the cause. You just feel a bit flat, a bit less like yourself. Zinc also happens to be foundational for your immune system, which matters more as we age. Here's the practical tip. Skip the tablets. Zinc absorption from tablets is genuinely poor. A few drops of liquid zinc in your water once a day is far more effective and much easier on your digestive system. Speaking of things that quietly run in the background, keeping everything functioning, number 5 is one that most people only think about after a problem shows up. Let me be clear up front. This one is not for everyone, and you should check with your doctor before supplementing with iron. But understanding what it does is important because if your levels are low, it explains a lot. Iron is the central component of hemoglobin, the protein in your red blood cells that carries oxygen from your lungs to every tissue in your body. When iron is low, your blood simply cannot carry enough oxygen. The result is that heavy, drained, foggy feeling that no amount of sleep seems to fix. That is not laziness, that is anemia. If your doctor has confirmed low iron, a gentle liquid iron supplement mixed into water is one of the most effective delivery methods available. It is easier on the gut than tablets, and it absorbs well. So we have covered the minerals. Now I want to add 2 things that most people do not connect to hydration and blood flow, even though the science says they absolutely should. Number 6, morning sunlight, the free habit that sets everything else up. This one might make you raise an eyebrow. What does sunlight have to do with what is in your water? More than you would think. Getting natural light into your eyes within the first 20 to 30 minutes of waking up sets your circadian clock for the day. It regulates your cortisol rhythm, which influences your energy, your focus, and over time, your testosterone and sleep quality. A well-regulated sleep cycle directly affects cardiovascular function and how your body manages stress and inflammation. Here is what I suggest. Combine this with your morning mineralized water. Take your glass outside for 5 to 10 minutes. Sunlight, fresh air, quality hydration. 2 habits for the price of 1 time slot. It's almost embarrassingly simple, which is exactly why most people skip it. And the final tip? This one takes about 30 seconds, and you can do it right before you take your first sip. Number 7, the 2-breath reset, using your lungs to open your blood vessels. This technique is called a physiological sigh, and it is getting serious attention in clinical research right now. Here's how it works. You take a normal breath in through the nose, then add a short, sharp second inhale on top, fully loading the lungs. then a long, slow exhale out through the mouth. Repeat 2 or 3 times. What is happening physiologically is this: that extended exhale activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and recovery mode. When your nervous system shifts into that state, your blood vessels naturally dilate. You are essentially using your breath to trigger the same vasodilation response we are trying to support with magnesium. 30 seconds, no equipment, no cost. Do it before your morning water, and you are setting up your entire vascular system before the day even starts. Let's bring this home simply, because this doesn't need to be complicated. In the morning, take a large glass of water with either half a teaspoon of magnesium glycinate powder or a small pinch of unrefined sea salt. Step outside for 5 to 10 minutes in the natural light. Even 1 to 2 minutes is better than nothing if you are really short on time. Do 2 or 3 physiological sighs before your first sip. Once a day with a meal, add a few drops of liquid zinc. After exercise, reach for a low-sugar electrolyte powder with good potassium content to replace what you have sweated out. That's the whole thing. No complicated stack, no expensive protocol, just smarter, more intentional hydration that actually matches how your body works after 60. Give it 3 weeks of real consistency. Notice your energy in the mornings. Notice your mental clarity. Notice how you feel moving through your day.